Leading our procession is going to be the Grand Marshal, Dr. Lisa Weston, from the Department of English. Fresno State cannot succeed without our talented and committed faculty and staff making their way into the arena right now. You may be wondering about their colorful attire. These are referred to as academic regalia. The caps, gowns, and hoods date back to the Middle Ages, but have been considered the standard of ceremonial dress since 1895. The colorful assortment symbolizes advanced degrees and institutions of university presidents and academic colleagues. The first to enter will be our deans. Representing the Jordan College of Agricultural Sciences and Technology, Dr. Dennis Neff. Now entering is Dean Julie Olson Buchanan from the Craig School of Business. Following is Dean Denise Siebert from the College of Health and Human Services. Next is Dean Christopher Meyer from the College of Science and Mathematics. And Dean Elizabeth Loham from the College of Social Sciences. Now entering the arena, Dean of Undergraduate Studies, Bernadette Muscat. Dean of Graduate Studies, Joy Godo. Now entering Dean of the University Library, Dell Hornbuckle. Next is Dean Ram Nuna from the Lyles College of Engineering. And joining us on the floor today is the College of Arts and Humanities Dean, Nora Chapman. Following the deans is the Fresno State faculty and staff. Wow. Yes, please. Let us now welcome the Platform Party, led by Dr. Jimenez Sandoval's most trusted advisors, his cabinet. Beginning with Dr. Xuaning Fu, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Deborah Aditian A. Stone, Vice President for Administration and Chief Financial Officer. Paula Castadio, Vice President for University Advancement. Dr. Bao Jory, Vice President for Technology Services and Chief Information Officer. Terry Toomey, Director of Athletics. Dr. Alam Hassan, Interim Vice Provost. Diana Rawls, Chief of Staff, Office of the President. Michael Lukens, Executive Director of Governmental Relations. And Lauren Nickerson, Associate Vice President for University Communications. Following them will be representatives from the California State University Chancellor's Office, beginning with Silva Alva, Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs. Leora Friedman, Associate Vice Chancellor and Deputy General Counsel. Andy Jones, Executive Vice Chancellor and General Counsel. Steve Relier, Executive Vice Chancellor and Chief Financial Officer. And Michelle Kiss, Chief of Staff, Office of the Chancellor. Next, it is an honor to welcome presidents of the California State University, followed by esteemed representatives from the Board of Trustees and distinguished guests. It is my pleasure to welcome leadership from visiting universities. Let's give them a little bit more applause while they get to their seats, please. Thank you. And last, but certainly not least, As we bring this processional to a close, I'm excited and honored to have Dr. Jimenez Sandoval join me on stage. Please. You may all be seated. Students, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and honored guests, welcome to California State University, Fresno for this significant occasion as we invest in Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval as the university's 9th president. Now, if I could take a moment to just share some personal words. As I mentioned, I am the previous student body president for Fresno. And to me, this investiture is not only well-deserved, but much needed. The 2021-2022 academic year brought much excitement and anticipation as the world began to ponder the end of the COVID-19 pandemic, as we began to think about what it would be like to join hands again, to come together in a community. Unfortunately, what we experienced as a campus was unprecedented pain. At times, it felt as if the world continued to push us down each time we found our strength to rise. But because of President Jimenez's leadership, Fresno State showed the world what it means to be a bulldog, energized by the pride of this Central Valley. When we as students celebrate our accomplishments, big or small or anywhere in between, he roots for us. When our campus community faces danger, he fights for us. And when anyone, and I mean any single person, feels grief or sadness, he cries with us. I truly believe that Dr. Jimenez Sandoval is a man whose sharp intellect is perfectly reinforced by his brave heart. And I also believe that as an institution, there is no better time for us to have such a wonderful being at our leadership. So please, again, join me in giving him a round of applause that he truly deserves. To open today's ceremony and to invite us to reflect on the spirit of our gathering, I am pleased to introduce Reverend Father James C. Pappas of St. George Greek Orthodox Church, who will deliver the invocation.
And it's my honor to do this blessing for a very dedicated, humble, and spiritual child of God. Beloved Lord, it is written, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. Thus we come before you in thanks for leading Saul to this most important activity in this most important season appointed by you. Saul has been faithful to you in all things, and thus it is no wonder that you have honored the desire of his heart to lead, to educate, to lift up, to encourage, to understand, to nourish, to persevere, and to love. Saul is thoughtful and balanced in his perceptions in life. Aid him as he leads. Grant him wisdom and peace beyond understanding, and hope to create a sustaining future for this academic institution. May he, along with the many who also serve this school, aid the students to strive toward excellence guiding them in their future service to humanity. As the Father of light, illuminate souls, colleagues, truth and righteousness always, encouraging, protecting, loving those who study here to achieve their goals. Thank you, Lord, for all things here and from above. For you are holy now and forevermore. Amen.
Thank you, Father Jim. Everyone, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Fresno State Air Force ROTC Color Guard and the performance of the national anthem by Leo and Ari Jimenez Aganos, sons of President Jimenez Sandoval and his wife, Mariana Anagastopoulos.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you, Fresno State Air Force ROTC. Leo and Adi, your performance was wonderful. Also, quick shout out to University High. You guys are bringing all of the energy and I absolutely love it. I love that. I now would like to invite Dr. Ken Hansen, Willie Carrillo, and Anthony Lopez to share the land acknowledgement.
Thank you very kindly, Diangelique. On Pechawaste, good afternoon. I'm Kenneth Hansen. My pronouns are he, dude, bro. I'm a pre-ICWA adoptee with Shawnee, Tsalagi, and Lakota heritage. I also serve the Cholone Indian Nation of California as tribal staff, in addition to serving Fresno State as a professor of political science and American Indian Studies. It is with great honor that we are here to celebrate the investiture of President Saul Jimenez Sandoval and open this day with our Fresno State land acknowledgement. The purpose of land acknowledgements is to recognize American Indian peoples, lands and waters that have long provided for all relations to thrive through their careful stewardship, ceremony, traditions, and generosity. Land acknowledgements recognize a beginning and a renewal of our commitment to live as good relatives and acknowledge our gratitude and responsibility to the indigenous people of the places that we inhabit. With me today are two of my native brothers, California Indian peoples, students at Fresno State, representing American Indian Studies, and who are also leaders of their communities. Mr. Willie Carrillo to my left, and Mr. Anthony Lopez to my right. Just introduce yourself real quick.
Hello, everybody. My name is Willie Carrillo. I'm from the Tule River Tribe, the Yokuts Nation. I'm glad to be here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anthony Lopez, and I'm from the Manchester Point Arena Band of Pomo Indians, and happy to be here.
We thank Mr. Carrillo and Mr. Lopez for sharing this day with us. And we thank you, President Jimenez Sandoval, for your commitment to American Indian peoples, tribes, and communities. I should also add, we're having 2 hires in American Indian Studies this year, and we're building a department thanks to the leadership of President Jimenez Sandoval and Provost Xuanning Fu. On this momentous occasion, we recognize this is a new beginning, and we are grateful for your leadership. We acknowledge that the Fresno State campus sits in the midst of the San Joaquin Valley, a valley rich in the traditions and representation of Native American peoples and customs. We are grateful to be in the traditional homelands of the Yokuts and Mono peoples, whose diverse tribal communities share stewardship over this land. Thank you. Ahom Mataki Eoyasin, all our relations.
Thank you all so much for that. So today we have several distinguished guests with us, and I would like to take a moment to introduce them to you. Would the members of the California State University Board of Trustees please rise and stay standing until each of you have been introduced. Ladies, gentlemen, and gentle people, please hold your applause until our system's leadership has been recognized. Beginning first with Chair Wenda Fong. Hold on, wait, hold on. I said, hold on now. Trustee Diana Aguilera Cruz. Trustee Diego Arambula. Trustee Lillian Kimbell. Trustee Maria Linares. And Trustee Romy Sebelius. Thank you for joining us. You may be seated. Would Interim Chancellor Jolene Coaster please stand? And I apologize, Chancellor Kester. Would all the California State University system presidents seated on stage please rise and stay standing until each of you have been introduced? Again, please hold your applause until all of the presidents have been recognized. We'll begin first with Dr. Jeffrey Armstrong from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Dr. Soraya Coley from Cal Poly Pomona. Rear Admiral Thomas Cropper from Cal Maritime. Dr. Adela De La Torre from San Diego State. Dr. Tom Jackson Jr. from Cal Poly Humboldt. Dr. Ellen Jun from Stanislaus State. Dr. Lynn Mahoney from San Francisco State. Dr. Tomas Morales from Cal State San Bernardino. Dr. Ellen Neufeld from CSU San Marcos. Dr. Framrose Vergy from Cal State Fullerton. And Dr. Lynette Zelezny from CSU Bakersfield. Thank you for joining us. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Juan Sanchez Munoz, Chancellor of UC Merced. Thank you for joining us. Would the community college system leadership please rise? Introducing Reedley College President, Dr. Jerry Buckley, and Clovis Community College President, Dr. Lori Bennett. Thank you for joining us. You may be seated. We would also like to take the time to welcome our elected officials who have taken time out of their day to join us in this glorious celebration. I would like to again ask that you hold your applause until all of our elected officials have been recognized. Beginning with Assemblymember Joaquin Arambula, Assemblymember Jim Patterson, Fresno County Board of Supervisor Steve Brando, Fresno County Board of Supervisor Nathan Magsig, Fresno County Board of Supervisor Sal Quintero, Fresno County District Attorney Lisa Smitkamp, Fresno County Assessor Paul Dictos, Fresno County Superintendent-elect of Schools, Michelle Cantwell Kofer, Fresno City Council Member Mike Carabasi, Fresno City Council President Nelson Esparza, Fresno City Councilman Miguel Arias. We appreciate your attendance. You may all be seated. Please join me in welcoming our community partner, Valley Children's Healthcare, represented by Dr. Todd Suntrapak. I owe you a coffee. President and Chief Executive Officer. Thank you so much for being here. And on behalf of President Jimenez Sandoval, many thanks to you, our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and guests for making time to be a part of this special celebration. In honor of President Jimenez Sandoval, we will recognize a number of individuals who will provide official greetings on this historic occasion. It is my pleasure to introduce Chair Wenda Fong to offer official greetings on behalf of the California State University trustees.
Good afternoon. It is my great honor and true pleasure to be here with you today. The students, faculty, staff, and extended community of Fresno State, as well as other distinguished guests. On behalf of the California State University Board of Trustees, I would like to extend my warmest greetings, enthusiastic congratulations, and unwavering support as we celebrate the remarkable leader today, Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval. I'll be candid, I can't say I'm surprised to be here today, not in the least. I was what you might call an early adopter of Dr. Jimenez Sandoval, his rare intellect, his exceptional abilities, and his compassionate heart. We met years ago on this campus. I was on the board of California Humanities, and Saul was the Dean of Arts and Humanities here at Fresno State. I have a strong recollection of that occasion. There are certain people in life who leave an immediate, impactful, and indelible positive impression. One that makes you think to yourself, this is not the last I will see of this person. This one will soar to great heights. Well, that's Saul. What struck me that day was not only his intelligence, grounded in warmth, sincerity, and modesty, but also his keen ability to seamlessly blend depth, vision, and affability. It was also the way others spoke about him when he wasn't around, the respect and high regard he earned among his peers and colleagues effortlessly. Over the years, I witnessed his career ascend from afar. My first impression was spot on. So I am thrilled to be here with all of you today at Dr. Jimenez Sandoval's investiture as the president of Fresno State. And I have complete faith and absolute confidence that this is just the beginning of even greater things for this extraordinary university. A true thought leader, a visionary, and relentless champion of equity and excellence, Dr. Jimenez Sandoval recognizes the value that Fresno State brings to the Central Valley, the quality education it provides, the lives it lifts, and the futures it inspires. I cannot think of anyone more qualified to lead and serve the Bulldog family. On behalf of the board, I commend and thank Dr. Jimenez Sandoval for all that he has done, and I look forward to all that he will do for this university and this community. And on his investiture as the 9th president of California State University, Fresno, I join all of you in recognizing Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval for his outstanding leadership and the vital role he plays for the California State University, for our state, and for our nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair Fong. I would now like to introduce Dr. Lynette Zelezny, President of CSU Bakersfield, who will provide greetings on behalf of the California State University presidents.
Good afternoon, President Jimenez Sandoval, Chancellor Kester, students, faculty, staff, distinguished guests. I bring you joyful greetings from the 23 presidents of the California State University. As a longtime friend, it is my true honor to offer my sincere congratulations to our dear colleague, Fresno State President Saul Jimenez Sandoval. Collectively, we want you to embrace our respect and admiration for your brilliant mind, caring heart, and visionary leadership. You inspire us. And we celebrate that you are the right man at the right place at the right time. President Jimenez Sandoval, today you join a circle of leaders who share a deep conviction that our students are the best and brightest in the nation. The CSU is an exemplar of excellence in the United States, and our students are fortunate to study and dream here. But we are the lucky ones. Here in the most diverse and accessible system of higher education in the nation, each and every one of our students, 500,000, they are rising with the sun. They rise to answer the call of the future. They rise to fight for justice. They rise to innovate, empower, lead, and serve. And the brilliance of their light casts a glow throughout California, the United States, and every corner of the world. I will leave you with the words of Dorothy Donahoe, the mother of higher education in our great state, who never had the opportunity to attend college herself. She represented Bakersfield in the California State Assembly and fought until the day she died to expand access to college and university, including for her family in her own hometown. She said, "Don't ever dare take your college as a matter of course, because like freedom and democracy, many people you'll never know have broken their hearts to give it to you." President Jimenez Sandoval, may you lead your Bulldogs and this vibrant community forward with a blazing vision, a sense of destiny, and a servant's heart. Viva Fresno State, viva President Jimenez Sandoval.
Thank you, Dr. Zalesny. Now, greetings will be provided on behalf of Fresno State students, faculty, and staff. To begin, it is my most humble honor to introduce and welcome your current student body president, Caroline Alvarez.
Thank you, Angelique. And good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned already, my name is Caroline Alvarez, and I'm currently serving as your ASI president. I'd like to start off by saying how honored I am to get this opportunity to speak in front of all of you today. I stand before you today representing the 25,000 students that attend Fresno State. As the president of the student body government, I have had the opportunity and the privilege to work with President Jimenez Sandoval over the past year. As a unified student voice, I gladly say we're proud to have President Jimenez Sandoval as our university president. Since he has assumed this role, he has been very active, engaged, and present on campus. Not only has he taken action and worked diligently to ensure that students' voices are heard at the decision-making table, but he also sets a great example for movement and physical activity. You may have seen him riding around campus on his red scooter, manual, not the cool electric ones, which, by the way, I think I'm still waiting on my matching one, but that'll be a discussion for another time. He does this, instead of taking a nice leisure walk, he does this in a full suit and in the amazing 100+ degree weather that we know to be our Central Valley. Going from meeting to meeting and greeting students, faculty, and staff along the way. I swear if you haven't seen him, I'll paint you the picture. There is smoke and fire flying off those wheels. It's the small things like this that connect President Jimenez Sandoval to our students. He's not just our university president, but he is one of us, and that connection to students is vital in his role. I remember my first one-on-one meeting with him. I took the overly intimidating elevator to the 4th floor of the library, and I walked myself to his office. I was waiting in the boardroom, and I could not help but overthink like all good college students do. All the important things that we were going to talk about, and if I was gonna have the right answers for any of them. He walked into the room, and our meeting could not have gone any differently than what I initially thought. He asked me about my family, about my major, and if I had lived in Fresno my whole life. He took the time to get to know me, and he was the same smiling face that I had seen around campus and at all events. I think President Jimenez Sandoval is an excellent choice for our campus. He is, in fact, a homegrown president. Being raised in the Central Valley, he understands how important it is to give back to our community. He always highlights the magnificent area that is the Central Valley and how Fresno State students can continue to grow the value of this community. He constantly stresses the importance of giving students all the resources needed to help them succeed and ultimately graduate. It is obvious that serving students is his top priority. It is my sincere hope that all Fresno State students see what I have seen in him and feel his commitment to student success and achievement. I look forward to serving the students and the Fresno State community alongside him. I cannot be more grateful to serve as your ASI student body president and lead with President Jimenez Sandoval this academic year. Thank you everyone for being here today, and thank you President Jimenez Sandoval for your dedication and commitment to Fresno State, but most importantly, your service to our students. Once again, let's give him a round of applause for our amazing president.
Thank you, D'Angelique, and thank you, President Alvarez. We have amazing students here. Just want to acknowledge that. Greetings to all my colleagues in the community. Yes, indeed, let's acknowledge it. Greetings to my colleagues in the community that is California State University, Fresno, and welcome to all in our larger Fresno community of which we serve. We're here today to witness and celebrate the installation of Saul Jimenez Sandoval as our new president to one of the Valley's most vital resources, this home of the vibrant community of scholars and teachers that we call Fresno State. We stand here before you in full regalia to mark this day, and rightly so, as a new president who marks a new beginning, with new renewed partnerships, new collaborations, and I'll tell you, this is my 22nd year teaching at this great university, and that past pandemic years, they've been some of the most challenging for us all. And yet, standing here today, I'm brimming with hope as the campus feels back in full swing with classrooms filled with students ready to make their future ambitions a reality. With this verdant fall semester as our backdrop, I'd like to offer the following observation. In Fresno State's past, investitures like this one may have had an element of slight apprehension as we accepted someone from outside our community to ascend to our highest administrative responsibilities. This is refreshingly not the case today, as Dr. Jimenez Sandoval has an intimate knowledge of our valley and of our values, and takes his position equipped with insights about our strengths and also where we might need to grow. And we can know that our new president understands the Fresno State faculty's perspective. Not long ago, he was teaching students from this valley in these very same classrooms. So I am very hopeful indeed. As chair of the Academic Senate, I formally extend our warmest welcome to our new president. I wish to personally thank you, sir, for your collaboration with the Academic Senate and your leadership during the COVID crisis, and I very much look forward to further collaboration via shared governance to help you build the brightest future for Fresno State community and our students. Mr. President, we wish you every success. Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon. As the chair of the Staff Assembly Executive Committee, I welcome you here today on behalf of the 2,691 staff members across Fresno State. Recently, I asked many of them to share a few words about the president. The common word was servant leadership. A servant leader is a person who performs the act of leadership by serving others. A servant leader focuses primarily on the growth and the communities to which they belong. When you review the feedback and shared stories from our staff members, you will see the actions that validate our president as a servant leader to our community. Here are just a few of what was shared. Our president chooses to lead with compassion. He takes action. He is sincere. Another staff member said, he came and he sat with us, and though we were tired, healing, and hesitant to trust again, he brings hope. President Jimenez Sandoval reminds me of a tree, transparent and reflective. His roots are deep, full of depth, a huge mass of support, and his branches are extended wide. He is a provider who stands strong with storms, shades when overwhelmed, comforts when needed, and supports without direction. A former student, now a staff member, shared, the first time I saw the president, he was on his scooter, smiling with his tie flapping in the wind over his shoulder. Later that day, he walked into the classroom and shared words of encouragement for the new semester, and he laughed at his own jokes. Seeing him in this light made everything he shared sincere and uplifting. President Jimenez Sandoval is genuine and an all-around solid person. Our president's servant leadership is reflective when he is leading our campus. He supports whether he is leading from the front of the line, co-leading next to his peers, or stepping to the back of the line and supporting and trusting his constituents. President Jimenez Sandoval took on the role as president during unprecedented times, a time that our campus community needed compassion, strength, honesty, and integrity, and he stepped right in to take action. It seemed we were headed into the biggest storms of our lives, with so much uncertainty of what was to come. Since the beginning of his presidency, he has been in the trenches with our campus community. He has been planning, building, strategizing, listening, communicating in order to guide us through the many struggles we've been faced with. I will close with a quote from John Maxwell. People do not care about how much you know until they know how much you care. Thank you, President, for fostering and supporting a caring environment. On behalf of the Fresno State staff, President Jimenez Sandoval, congratulations. We are honored to have you as our leader and look forward to working alongside you to better the Fresno State community, the Central Valley, and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, President Alvarez, Dr. Hall, and Chair Munoz. We now welcome greetings on behalf of the alumni of Fresno State and the Fresno State Foundation Board of Governors.
Chancellor Kester, CSU trustees, President Jimenez Sandoval, and guests, on behalf of the Fresno State Alumni Association, it is my great honor to stand here before you this afternoon representing more than 200,000 alumni as we welcome Saul Jimenez Sandoval as the 9th president of California State University, Fresno. I'm a proud 2005 MBA graduate of the Craig School myself, but at the time I almost chickened out. Coming back to school in my 30s with a young family and a small business felt like a huge decision. In retrospect, my time as a student at Fresno State has paid dividends many times over and provided me with a strong educational and professional foundation, like it's done for many tens of thousands of our graduates worldwide. Fresno State was founded in 1911 with 150 students. Today, our campus comprises 1,400 acres and more than 24,000 students. It's amazing to see where the campus has been, its graduates, and the future is as bright as ever. Just in case you didn't know, Fresno State is one of 23 campuses in the California State University system, the largest university system in the world with nearly 477,000 current students and 4 million graduates. The official seal of the CSU includes an outline of the state of California, the lamp of learning, the book of knowledge, and the year the university system was founded in 1857. The CSU seal also includes 3 Latin words, vox, veritas, vita. They translate in English to voice, truth, life, or literally speak the truth as a way of life. To alumni, family, and friends, and my colleagues, and to the young people in the audience today, I challenge you to remember these words in all that you do. Speak the truth as a way of life. And to all the Fresno State Bulldogs of the future in the audience today, we look forward to seeing you here on campus. To President Jimenez Sandoval, congratulations, thank you, and go Dogs!
Good afternoon. My name is Vinci Ricciuti, and it is an honor and privilege to stand before you on behalf of the Fresno State Foundation Board of Governors to welcome and congratulate President Saul Jimenez Sandoval, along with his wife Mariana and family. Being named the 9th president of California State University, Fresno marks a pinnacle of achievement and commencement of a new era. As you know, such an esteemed position comes with the incredible responsibility to lead, engage, inspire, and collaborate, with the overarching goal to elevate student success while strategically strengthening our university's presence in the community and beyond as an institution of innovation, discovery, and distinction. Following the long-standing mission of the Fresno State Foundation, we enthusiastically pledge to partner with you in your quest to effect positive and meaningful change, knowing this commitment is critical for ongoing advancement. From early on, our board recognized your authentic spirit, your abiding devotion, your keen intellect, your steadfast integrity, and an unwavering pursuit of excellence. All reasons why there is a true sense of excitement and pride today, knowing President Saul Jimenez Sandoval is our distinguished leader and our top dog. So thank you again for being here, and a heartfelt congratulations, Saul.
Thank you, Mr. Miller and Mrs. Ricciuti. I'd like to take a moment to stress the importance of community. Without such a thing, there would be nothing such as success. And in this time, I'd like to just give a warm welcome, and if we could, a standing ovation to the university president's family who has joined us here today. Because without their support, this wonderful man who so many have shared the importance that he has given, and so many more will come and do the same. Without them, we would not have him here today. So we thank you all for your patience, your love, and your willingness to sit through so many wonderful jokes. And in the spirit of community, as I've mentioned before, so many other university and community college presidents who have joined us here today, I'd also like to take a moment to welcome, if we could, and recognize President of Fresno Pacific University, Andre Stevens. And what is so amazing about the Central Valley, specifically the city of Fresno and Fresno State, is that we are absolutely a community. And without the city of Fresno, Fresno State itself would not be able to function. And so with that, it is now my honor to welcome Mayor Jerry Dyer to give some remarks on behalf of the city of Fresno.
On behalf of the city of Fresno, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to congratulate my great friend, Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval. Before Saul rose through the ranks and became the president of this prestigious university, he, just like me, was a Fowler Red Cat. And we know that once a red cat, always a red cat. Now, we are also proud Fresno State Bulldogs. It is Dr. Jimenez Sandoval's roots and humble beginnings, which included working in the fields of Fowler, that provided him with the foundation that has ultimately led us to this moment today. He's a product of the Valley, committed to raising the Valley. He's a leader, a visionary, and someone who has a great passion for educating the next generation of innovators, scholars, and leaders. Under his direction and guidance, Fresno State is cultivating students who are future farmers, winemakers, teachers, engineers, social workers, police chiefs, and mayors, and so many more. I'm looking forward to continuing our work together and watching as he takes Fresno State to even greater heights. Congratulations to my good friend. Saul, I love you. I know you're going to be an incredible president for this university. May God bless you and your wonderful family. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Dyer. This concludes today's official greetings. But wait, there's more. It is a joy to invite the Fresno State Chamber Singers to perform Flourishing Valley. This is a piece written by former Poet Laureate of the United States of America and Professor Emeritus at Fresno State, Dr. Juan Felipe Herrera. Dr. Herrera, please stand and be recognized. The music itself was composed by Fresno State graduate Micah Byers, led by Fresno State graduate conductors Jordan Polito and Sydney Allen. Please welcome the Fresno State Chamber Singers. Wow, that was extravagant. You got a whole song. That's so cool. Thank you so much. So now we will welcome up Dr. Daniel Calleros. Please share a few words about Dr. Jimenez Sandoval.
Well, it's going to be complicated to follow that, but I'll just share what I have to say. First and foremost, welcome all. Thank you for being here. And it is truly a pleasure to be a part of this and bear witness to Dr. Jimenez Sandoval's investiture. As a part of Fresno State faculty, in my 2 minutes here, I'm supposed to tell you how Saul has influenced me as an educator. And to quote my wife, todo es su culpa, it's all his fault. And after thinking about it, she is right. I started out as an MCJ major here at Fresno State and had a minor in Spanish. At some point, I took a Mexican literature class with our now president, and something clicked, something shifted, a seed was planted. My minor changed into a double major, and I decided I wanted to teach classes just like Saul did. Ever since that moment, he was there every step of the way, as a professor, as a mentor, and as a friend. Beyond the knowledge he so selflessly gave, I also took with me some of the passion and pedagogical approaches that to this day I still try to recreate. Saul was always kind and humble, and after all these years and the career he's had, he still is. The level of care he displayed, the idea that education is the path to freedom and happiness, and the belief that respectful dialogue is the key to establishing lasting and fruitful relationships within any community are some of the guiding principles he instilled in me. Beyond literary analysis or critical theory, Saul taught me to empower students, to help themselves, and to guide them to find a voice of their own. He also showed me that breaking down barriers is not a threat to academic authority, but rather an act of trust that helps create a more fertile classroom. And just as he's left an indelible mark in me as a professor and as a person, I am sure he has reached many of you present here today. I would just like to close and say, felicidades, Saúl, y muchas gracias.
Thank you so much. Presenting today's keynote address will be Dr. Lynette Zelezny. Dr. Zelezny is the 5th president of CSU Bakersfield and is the first woman to serve in that role. I'm sorry, could we just... Absolutely. She previously served as the provost and vice president of academic affairs for Fresno State. Dr. Zelezny joined Fresno State in 1988 and served in a variety of roles, including associate provost, dean, and associate vice president for the Division of Continuing and Global Education, associate dean for the Craig School of Business, and chair of the psychology department, where she was also a lecturer, assistant professor, associate professor, and professor. Dr. Zelezny has served as a visiting professor at the University of Stockholm in Sweden, an American Council of Education Fellow at Townsend University in Maryland, and as a Fulbright Scholar in Germany. She was a nominee for the U.S. Professor of the Year awarded by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching and the Council for Advancement and Support of Education. An applied social psychologist, Dr. Zelezny has published research related to the environment, health, leadership, and student success for underrepresented students. Please welcome Dr. Zelezny.
Well, thank you very much. That was very humbling and beautifully said. I am truly honored to speak at this milestone celebration for my longtime colleague, my friend, my brother in spirit, President Saúl Jiménez Sandoval, and for Fresno State, in the beating heart of California. The tapestry of the San Joaquin Valley is stitched together from the bright, colored threads that bind us together as a people with our diverse traditions, customs, and aspirations. The tapestry of the valley is made from the hand-stitched this land of dreams by generations of immigrants and dreamers seeking a better life. The tapestry of the valley is made from the burlap sacks of farm workers who harvest our grapes, tomatoes, almonds, and many crops that feed the world. The tapestry of the valley is made from the blue jeans of the dance halls and the dapper mariachi suits of joyful Saturday nights. The tapestry of the valley is made from the elegant hats and dresses of prayerful Sunday mornings. And the tapestry of the San Joaquin Valley is made from the red, blue, and gold graduation gowns of students from the 3 CSU campuses that are the pride of this region, the pride of our people, and the pride of California. My dear friend, President Jimenez Sandoval, as the son of immigrants, you are a powerful role model who works every day to add to the tapestry that gives our valley its character, its identity, and its unity. Inspired by your brilliant mind, caring and poetic heart, and in the symbolic spirit of tapestry, I wish to share my simple, not from the poet laureate of the US, but my simple, original poetic insights that reflect on you as a man of principle and leader of this great institution. Tapestry. T is for transformative, tireless, truth teller who weaves togetherness to teach students to live, love, and lead. A bountiful harvest in this flourishing valley that gives life. A is for action, accelerating this university forward, advocating for alignment with community needs, development, and innovation, with appreciation and respect for hard work and those that till the land. P is for promise, power forward with positive spirit and promise that brings pride to Fresno State. Portray always the rays of the sun, piercing through the morning sky, and match the energy of the rows of freshly plowed fields. E is for elevate educational opportunities and attainment in the California Central Valley to empower the future of this region and beyond. Emanate and embody the symbols of grapes, the lamp of knowledge, an open book, the peach and tomato blossoms, the olive branch, and the ever-reaching branch of the ash tree. S is for sage, soul with many sisters. Serve, support, and sustain your deserving students and their success with the strength of the sun. Si se pueda. T is for threads of community interwoven together in tradition and a song of unity and hope-filled melodies. Every thread matters. R is for ray of light and energy for this region. Receive the light that you may give it forth. Y is for you, your time. May your youthful vigor bless you as you flourish as Fresno State's leader and steward of this flourishing valley. President Jimenez Sandoval, this day fills my heart with joy. Thank you for answering the call to serve and enriching the tapestry of our beloved valley. May you lead with grace and vision, with your eye always turned to the rising sun. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zalesny, for your meaningful remarks. As we come to the most important part of this ceremony, I'm taking a moment to reflect on the man that we are so lucky to have as our university president. I'm thinking about how difficult it was to step into the leadership role as student body president last year when we faced a pandemic, when we faced Title IX concerns, when we faced the renaming of our library, and when we faced so many other hard things that impacted the Central Valley. And I think that without President Jimenez Sandoval, I probably would have lost my mind. I'm not joking. There is something about his spirit when I say that he feels joy with us and he cries with us. There's something about his spirit that I don't think anybody will ever truly appreciate or understand until he's no longer here. And I pray that day never comes. May you live forever. But I'm thinking about this moment I had when I'd actually just recently gotten out of office. It was after the overturning of Roe v. Wade and so many other senseless acts of violence happening throughout our country, and I felt lost because I no longer had the leadership role. I no longer was the student body president, and I didn't know what I could do if I was not in a high-standing office. So like I'd done countless, probably millions of times throughout the last academic year, I went to his office, and he welcomed me with open doors. He let me cry, he let me scream, he let me sit in silence. And then he reminded me that you don't have to be in a powerful position to make powerful change. That there is something so moving about community. That without the use of our voices and without connecting to our emotions and speaking to each other at an interpersonal level, we would never get anywhere. And there was something about that conversation that pulled me out of a deep, dark hole of just confusion and just fear. And it gave me hope, and it gave me light. And as we are coming up on this anniversary of him being our university president for a year, I'm thinking to the future. And I'm thinking of how many students, faculty, staff, and community members will cross his path, and how many of them will find a light because they were able to speak with him. So with that, I am very, very honored, and I'm trying very hard not to cry, to welcome to the podium Dr. Jolene Kester, Interim Chancellor of the California State University. Dr. Kester.
Thank you very much, DeAngelique, and welcome all of you representing this great university. It's great for me to be back on the campus. I can't quite remember the exact date that I was here before, but I was in this building probably with the Cal State University Northridge basketball team losing. But nevertheless, this impressive arena has been the setting for so many Bulldog triumphs. But I would venture to say that it has hosted no event more triumphant or more consequential than that which brings us all here today, the investiture of Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval as the 9th president of this extraordinary institution. So you've heard me introduced as the interim chancellor, so true confessions here. My first investiture in this role as CSU's chancellor. Of course, it's been my privilege to attend the investiture of dozens of remarkable leaders throughout the CSU and beyond, and actually even my own investiture at Cal State Northridge 22 years ago. I have vague memories of that. But what I want to say to you is I do know the drill. I know what it is I'm supposed to do, maybe, but I do know what it is my role is and what it is I'm supposed to say. So, in addition to performing the formal vesting, which I'm going to be honored to do in just a moment, it is the role of the chancellor to reflect a bit on why this particular person is right for this particular presidential role, for this university, and for the community it serves. Now, I would say I've been lobbed a really, really softball on that one today, right? You've heard the comments from the other speakers, almost all of which speak to the perfection of this person in this role at this point in time. Frankly, it defies the imagination to envision a leader more perfectly suited to serve as a university president than Saul Jimenez Sandoval is to this leadership role at Fresno State. We've been reminded several times today that the Central Valley is home for Saul, that he grew up about 15 miles from here, down Highway 99, having immigrated with his family from Mexico to Fowler as a young boy. We've been reminded that on his close-knit family's farm, he learned the value of hard work, to never shirk from challenges and adversity, but rather to tackle them immediately and head on with an open and flexible mind. And somewhere in that family, someone must have taught him how to tell jokes. He developed his deep connection to this valley and to the agricultural industry for which it's famous worldwide. And above all, he learned to love the people of this place. He learned to love the glorious symphony of cultures that all of you, that the people, represent. Now, Saul is too modest to mention this, but on completion of his doctoral work, he could have accepted an appointment at any one of dozens of universities across the country or around the world. But of course, Saul came home. Devotion to the family, to his family, remains in the very core of his being. Most of you know that his brilliant wife, Mariana, is a professor here, and sons Ari and Leo, which we were able to be treated to their talents, are fixtures on the campus. His family is deeply connected to Fresno State in the same way today as it was to the Fertile Valley farmland when he was a boy. Of course, the family is now much larger, extended to the Fresno State faculty, staff, and more importantly, the university's 25,000 students. Saul is a tireless worker, and as others have said, he leads with vision, integrity, a nimble intellect, a compassionate heart. The humor is balanced with humility, and he is utterly without pretentiousness. I would love to see him zipping around campus on that red scooter. Most of you may or may not know that he's an inveterate foodie, and more specifically, he's a Fresno foodie. He's known to take a role in planning the menus for the events hosted by the Office of the President, and he's eager to share the extraordinary foods and flavors of this valley with campus guests. Off the menu, commitment to place is evident in the vital partnership he has forged with community leaders, some of whom share the stage today, many of whom are in the audience, and you've heard their words. Saul has committed the university to develop innovative internship programs, experiential learning opportunities, and enhanced academic programming to ensure that the graduates of this university continue to meet this region's fast-evolving workforce needs. His commitment to people is evident in his unwavering focus on advancing educational equity to all Fresno State students, current and future. His aptitude and passion for this work are so impressive that I've recently asked Saul to help co-lead a system work group with the charge of positioning the CSU to be a nationwide leader in Black student recruitment, enrollment, retention, and graduation. I don't want to suggest to any of you that the path forward for this president and this university community will necessarily be an easy one. Fresno State, like each and every one of the universities in the California State University system, faces formidable challenges. But I do believe that those challenges are dwarfed by the wealth of opportunities here. And I do believe that Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval is the ideal leader to meet those challenges, to help guide Fresno State to new heights of success, to continue to transform the lives and families, and to uplift this valley he so loves. So my friend, my colleague, Saul, welcome home. Now to the best part. I've spoken of how important family is to Saul, so I think it is only appropriate to ask Mariana, Ari, and Leo to join me, along with their husband and father, here at the podium. By the authority granted to me by the trustees of the California State University, I hereby invest you, Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval, with the office of President of California State University Fresno, with all of the honors, all of the privileges, but most importantly, the authority, responsibilities, and accountabilities pertaining thereto that role. Good. We should have practiced this. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my deepest honor, my deepest privilege to present to you the President of California State University, Fresno, President Saul Jimenez Sandoval.
This is a truly emotional moment for me to see so many of my friends, my neighbors, my family, my community here supporting me and supporting Fresno State as well as my colleagues from the CSU, my colleagues from the community colleges, my colleague from Fresno Pacific University, my colleague from UC Merced. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. So what an incredible honor it is to have you here for this very meaningful occasion. As your president, I am energized and determined to lead Fresno State into a prosperous and vibrant future. Join me in giving a round of applause to the Investiture Planning Committee and the Office of the President's staff for their hard work that made this event possible. I want to sincerely thank everyone for being here today. All of you, in your respective roles, are critical to the success of Fresno State. Your contributions, talent, and passion are key to creating the dynamic energy that reaches far beyond our campus. It brings life to the San Joaquin Valley that we love and call home. The work that we do together is fundamental to the future of our state, and I appreciate your support of my presidency and our shared vision for enriching the heartland of California. Thank you. I want to thank personally a few of our distinguished guests who have traveled from near and from far to join us today. Interim Chancellor Jolene Kester, welcome to Fresno State. Your sage guidance, radiant optimism, and faith in Fresno State have been steadfast during challenging times and during good times as well. Thank you very much. I also want to say thank you to my friend, colleague, and mentor, President Lynette Selesny, for her poetic and heartfelt words. Indeed, it was your mentorship that began to weave in me the threads of commitment, preparation, and hope that led me to this presidency. Thank you very much. Together with my colleague, President Ellen Jun, and my colleague, Chancellor Juan Munoz, we all four lift up the quality and the prosperity of this valley. I'm thankful for the wise advice and counsel I received over the years from my mentors, Josefina Baltodano, Donald Betts, Mildred Garcia, Doug Whitlock, and George Blumenthal. I'm encouraged by the presence of my fellow CSU presidents, many of the CSU trustees, chancellors, and presidents from our partner institutions and local community colleges. Together, what do? We form a complex network of multicultural, visionary, and determined leaders who fueled the future of our California. Likewise, this present moment is rooted in history for me. I'm indebted to the leaders who came before me, who guided this university through many successes and hardships over the past 112 years. As an immigrant with deep roots in the land, I am also immensely grateful to those individuals who fought discrimination. African Americans pioneer human rights and open doors, envisioning a future of equity and strength. Chicanx and Latinx individuals took that courageous first step toward belonging and ownership. Women took up hammers and broke glass ceilings, calling out double standards and unfair treatment. Native American peoples resisted with their sense of inner strength and spirituality. API communities contributed with their love of family and industriousness and community. All of these threads are woven together so someone like me can today lead one of the most dynamic and diverse campuses within the CSU system. And you can see these beautiful threads in the speakers and performers who have illuminated us with their insights, with their words, with their art today. I would like to thank our Master of Ceremonies and last year's ASI President, DeAngelique Jackson. DeAngelique, your leadership and unyielding advocacy for students continues to inspire me every day, up to this day. I look forward as well to working with this year's ASI President, Caroline Alvarez, who got into the nursing program. Not many do, and she did. With President Alvarez, in the words of our poet laureate, Juan Felipe Herrera, further are coming together in a flourishing way. Sincere thanks as well to our faculty who inspire our students, inspire me as well, and who empower our students to become the best versions of themselves, the leaders of our tomorrow. And many thanks to our dedicated staff. the engine of our university. Without them, the institution could not function. A wholehearted thanks to our students who inspire us with their creative energy and boundless potential. You have all shown me the full spectrum of grace, of encouragement and support during the many positions I've held at Fresno State. As a homegrown president, and I say that with full pride, it is the honor of my life to serve as your leader. The journey to the presidency was also nurtured by the strength and support I received ever since I arrived in this region. All the trauma of immigrating as a 10-year-old boy to Fowler and facing discrimination was overcome by the hope, by the love, by the encouragement I was generously given, by Mrs. Mary Lou Valdez, who taught me my very first words in English, by Mrs. Tanaka, a Japanese-American librarian in the Fowler Library branch, who opened my eyes to the world of reading, by my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Joe Alvarez, who wrote in my yearbook, "I admire your willingness to learn," by my 8th grade teacher, Mrs. Val Fromm, who said to me, "You will go to college and be a great leader," and by Mrs. Lupe Vargas, my Spanish high school teacher, who told me when I left for college, "Do us proud and return to the valley." Each one of them, along with my friends and with my neighbors of over 40 years, many gathered here today, nurtured my deep-seated roots in this, our region. When I was a student at UC Irvine, my good friends were fundamental to my success. Teresa Warwick Sweet, who's here, Maria Falcon, who is in Spain, Elsie Bustamante, who's back east, Debbie Avila, our professor of Spanish and Portuguese, who is here, Matt Ansel in Utah, and the late Kota Inoue, my roommate, mis cuates and best friends. I dedicate this day to my late mother, Tila Sandoval, who taught me diplomacy and whose song of kindness and unconditional love resonates in me every day. Thank you. And to my late father, Alfonso Jimenez, who taught me the value of honest hard work and whose unmatched sense of self-worth and thirst for life and learning guide my passion for this fertile valley of ours. I know that they're both looking down from heaven. I'm grateful as well to my 5 sisters. Yes, 5 sisters. Marta, Luz Elena, Ene, Ana, and Carmina, as well as to my 2 brothers, Miguel Angel and Alfonso. For all you have taught me love and encouragement. As the youngest of 8 siblings, you can imagine, I had to learn to cooperate with individuals who all brought different gifts to our family, different dynamics, and each one of us has its own brain, which is great. Muchas gracias, familia, por estar aquí conmigo. And to my godmother, mi madrina, Esperanza Sandoval Ward, who traveled from far to be here, thank you for your love and support, and for always telling me that in your heart of hearts, I have a special place there, unidito, hilado con hilos de oro. Lastly, I want to recognize the importance, the energy, the inspiration, the life-flowing power that my wife, Dr. Mariana Anagnostopoulos, represents, along with our 2 amazing children, Arion and Leo. Mariana, thank you for being the rock, and thank you for being my life partner in everything. You 3 inspire me to be a better man each and every day. My life is a testament of love for the 3 of you. I have shared part of my personal story because my lived experience informs my resolve to strengthen Fresno State. Indeed, as Fresno State impacts every facet of Valley life, the more we excel, the more our region will thrive. It has been 16 months since the trustees of the CSU appointed me as the 9th president of Fresno State. When I accepted the nomination, I initially envisioned that I alone would be responsible for coming up with all the right answers to the myriad questions and challenges that we would face. However, I quickly understood that good leadership harnesses the collective effort of complex teams striving toward one common goal, the common goal of the greater good for Fresno State. My charge, as I see it now, is to advocate with unbridled passion for our university by uniting the collective wisdom of our community and industry partners. Dr. Jolene Kester first introduced me to the concept of the presidency as a tapestry. The presidency does not rest on the shoulders of one single person, but on the strength of a set of interwoven and interconnected individuals artfully coming together to form the leadership of the university. We together make it happen along with you. Over the past year and a half, it has become abundantly clear that each individual strand of this tapestry matters. Each one brings with it its unique hue, without which the image could not be complete. Everyone in this room, whether you are faculty, staff, students, alumni, supporters, or community leaders, your insights are integral to shaping and implementing the vision of a greater Fresno State. My journey is both unique and reflective of so many of the histories of migration, displacement, and struggle that have shaped the history of this valley. These are not always pleasant histories to recall, but each culture, each interaction has left its imprint on the region. Today, we are culturally rich and diverse. We challenge one another, and how could we not, with such an abundance of traditions and perspectives? But we increasingly recognize our diversity as a source of strength and creativity, as the source of strength and creativity. We are collaborators, celebrating the distinct gifts of each other. But also, we are sharing in our common humanity and in the ever-present search for safety and opportunity. A brighter future awaits, and we must weave our own destinies together. I was born in the mountains of Zacatecas, Mexico, a region surrounded by a river where my brother Alfonso and I would fish. Do you remember that, Banso? The home where I was born was built by my father's family in 1780. That's a long time ago. And the history of the land ran deep in our bones. I tell you my story because it manifests the trauma of moving to a new land, of being an immigrant. And in the grander scheme of things, I was one of the lucky ones. I came with my entire family. I came without being a refugee, or without having lost family members to genocide, or without having been displaced. This story is repeated in the many communities of our valley, beginning with the Mano and Yokuts people who have stewarded this land since time immemorial, and followed by 200 years of near constant migration and global dislocations that affected waves of immigrants who left their lands with pain and sorrow. Because what? They came here with hope and determination to make this valley, our valley, their home, our home. All together, throughout the decades, we have woven our collective energies of hope and determination to make Fresno County the most productive agricultural region in the world, with a combined regional production of almost 20 billion with a B, $20 billion. We are bound by our livelihoods and by our affection for home. We are a community amongst the most linguistically diverse in the nation, speaking over 120 languages in a place where food and music and stories transcend boundaries and create a new place of beginning. And Fresno State is crucial to fostering these exchanges and bringing our communities together. I became keenly aware of this burgeoning diversity when I arrived at Fowler in 1980. And by that time, I had the good fortune to teach at Fresno State as a professor of Spanish and Portuguese in 2000, the different strands were forming the tapestry we have here today, this incredible tapestry of color. Over the course of almost 2 decades, I taught our students, was coordinator of the Spanish Master of Arts, was chair of the Department of Modern Classical Languages and Literatures, was dean of the College of Arts and Humanities, and was provost and vice president of academic affairs prior to becoming your president. Throughout this journey, it is our students who inspire me to work each day in service of our university. Today, we are proud of our formal recognition as an Hispanic serving institution and as an Asian American and Native Pacific Islander serving institution. Give that a round of applause, please. These are more than formal titles. They represent our commitment to lifting up diverse student voices. As your president, it is my distinct honor to build upon the strength of our diversity as the key element in the success of our future. From years of teaching our students, I learned the following. Earning a degree from Fresno State is transformational for our students, for their families, and for our community. Almost 68% of our students are the first in their families to attend a university. And in real numbers, 68% is 14,600 first-gen leaders we have right here at this university. We are more than 275,000 living alumni strong, and the fact that 80% of our students live and work right here in the Valley is a testament to how Fresno State directly drives opportunity, social mobility, and regional growth. Many of our community leaders at the local, state, and federal levels are proud Bulldogs. Indeed, Fresno State graduates elevate every industry in our region. Mayor Dyer is an excellent example of that. And get this is for you, Uni High. And even if a local high school student, for some mysterious, obscure reason that I can't fathom to this day, were to choose another university, guess what? We at Fresno State, nevertheless, directly contributed to your preparation. Because over 75%, over 75% of our K-12 teachers in the region hold degrees from our Kremen School of Education and Human Development. Having said that, our students excel because Fresno State alumni teach them excellence, and we can go further than that. As president of Fresno State, I can confidently state that every major economic, social, artistic, and local institution in the region is sustained by the distinction of our alumni. Our Bulldogs indeed contribute to an ecosystem of inquiry and innovation throughout our valley and beyond. That Bulldog spirit is palpable. Its energy is all around us. Can you feel it? You can, right? And it invigorates us at Fresno State athletic events as well. At our football games, for instance, we can see, hear, and feel the excitement of as many as 42,000 students, alumni, fans from diverse cultural backgrounds, political affiliations, faiths, occupations, and socioeconomic statuses, all coming together. They put on their Bulldog red and unite behind one common cause to cheer on the Dogs. Fresno State Bulldogs are undeniably the Valley's team, and we are undeniably the Values University. When I became president, I embarked on an industry listening tour in which I hosted 6 official listening sessions and had numerous informal conversations with industry leaders and with educational and thought leaders throughout our region. The key takeaways from these conversations identify specific priorities. 1, grow a pipeline of diverse workers who bring with them transdisciplinary skills. For example, STEM majors or business-savvy artists, all with powerful communication skills. 2, facilitate a connection between businesses and students. 3, become critical partners in our region's economic growth with innovative curriculum. What we do here must impact the region economically. And 4, monitor and measure career success after graduation. These insights now form the base for our upcoming strategic plan. I'm inspired by a visionary future of what's possible. I am a poetry professor after all. Yet, I'm also looking for a plan that is measurable and grounded in data-informed decision-making that can clearly chart our path forward. The goal of my presidency is to take Fresno State from the regional powerhouse that we currently are to a national and internationally recognized bastion of knowledge in matters of water, agriculture, engineering, business, STEM, and healthcare. These are the threads that weave together to form a vibrant and thriving community and an innovative world. It is only fitting that the most productive agricultural region in the world be recognized for its application and research, product development, and branding. To achieve this vision, we will focus our innovation and entrepreneurship as foundational elements. The importance of research, recently highlighted by our R2 classification, will be paramount. Action culminates in our responsibility to rise to the challenge of addressing the world's impending food insecurity. Get this, by the year 2050, we will be 9 billion people in the world, yet we will have to produce 60% more food. I'm confident that Fresno State is poised and ready to take on this challenge by becoming a preeminent authority in food production and processing. My vision is ambitious, it is, but fully realizable when calling upon the strengths of our diversity and our dedication to this community. The power I see comes from our shared history. As we continue to weave our communal tapestry, the resolve to better our region is strengthened by the love we have for friends, for family, for neighbors. With so many deep roots, our future looks promising and entirely within our grasp. Finally, I wish to conclude with a topic that is near and dear to my heart: the power of the arts. When it came time, when it came time to design the images that would represent my presidency, your presidency, I immediately thought of the immense creativity I witnessed in our own students. As you have seen today, Fresno State and our surrounding community are filled with artists of immeasurable talent. The original investiture artwork that you will receive on your way out reflects who we are as a community and offers tribute to the many individuals who came before us, who planted their own seeds and helped grow the opportunities we currently enjoy. Together, we will weave a tapestry with champion social scientists who will build bridges of communication and understanding, humanists who will elaborate upon the bonds that unite us, and healthcare professionals who will enhance their practice with empathy and compassion. I end with a heart overflowing with gratitude for the talented students who have chosen Fresno State and bring with them the dreams of a better tomorrow. Friends who are here today, my family who has strengthened my spirit and determination, the staff who power all processes at the university, the faculty who have invested their energies to the success of our students, and the community of supporters whose loyalty to Fresno State makes us such a special, powerful, united region and university. With heaven's grace, I commit to serving this university with everything I have, and I invite you to join me on this journey in which every thread of this vibrant tapestry matters. Thank you, Fresno State, and go Dogs!
Goodness, a little emotional back there. I was trying not to cry. I didn't want you guys to think I was soft, but that was so beautiful. All right, so as we come to a close, ladies, gentlemen, and gentle people, I would now like to invite the Fresno State Chamber Singers to lead us in our alma mater. Ladies, gentlemen, and gentle people, thank you so much for your patience and your attendance. This concludes our ceremony for today. I would like to invite you to please join us on the North Concourse for Fresno State ice cream. President Jimenez Sandoval. President Jimenez Sandoval will lead the recessional, and we ask that you remain seated until the platform party has exited the arena. Again, thank you all so much for your attendance today. It has been so enjoyable.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters. All over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring the hammer